Well, the weekend is over and, well, looks like things are not exactly going well for Indiana Jones and Dial D for disaster, because that's what it's going to be, at least financially. Dial of Destiny, Disney and Lucasfilm's fifth and final film in the franchise, is expected to whip up $65 million in its opening weekend. I can guarantee you that this is not going to go well. A solid start, except for the fact the movie carries a massive $295 million budget. Whoa. Time out. 7.2 million is terrible. It is god-awful for an Indiana Jones movie. And we can go all the way back to 2008 and prove it to you, because Crystal Skull blew this one out of the water, because it was more than double than this film back in 2008. Okay, as you can see here, 25 million. Okay, I admit, I was completely wrong on this. It was 3 times what Dial of Destiny made. And it made 125 million its opening weekend. What is that? That's like over double what this film made. That was 2008. And even the Access Media is coming to terms with this. China box office, Indiana Jones 5 bombs with 2.3 million opening. Hold on to your hats, folks, because Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny had a disappointing opening weekend draw of 60 million at the box office with a overinflated budget of $295 million. I'm shocked. Actually, no, I'm not. Literally anyone who was halfway paying attention knew that this was going to happen, but apparently the Access Media had no fucking clue. Listen, folks, all you have to do is just look at the opening numbers for other films, and you can easily figure this shit out. Is it too early to celebrate? Listen, I hear you, guy way in the back, screaming that it still could make its money back. You are correct, and I could actually be wrong, and this film could make its money back. But, it would take a miracle for it to get to $1 billion at this point. Sure, it's possible, but you know what? Unicorns can come flying out of my ass too. When you compare this film to other contemporary films that came out recently, like The Flash, the numbers don't look good. The Flash opening weekend made 55 million. That's 5 million less than Dial of. You spent way too much fucking money on this film, and it's gonna be a massive flop. And as I mentioned in my Flash box office numbers, and I'll say it here again, the economy is awful, whether people want to admit it or not. And people are gonna have a much harder time partying with their money to go see a shit movie. I spent roughly $16 for the film, and then like another $15 for food and a drink. That's over $30. That's just for one person. At this point, I think the movie-going audience has wised up to what's going on with the studios, and they're not willing to show up opening week to go and see if the movie's good or not. They're waiting for reviews, like people on YouTube, to see whether the movie is good or not, whether they want to go and spend their hard-earned cash on a movie. And I think Disney knew that they had a giant turd on their hands, because they went and previewed it at Cannes, and it didn't go very well for them. Yeah, this totally hurt the movie. They were so desperate for praise because they've been used to getting this praise for their shit piles of movies, like The Eternals, which is god-awful, but it apparently saved lives. And I'm not sure why the Access Media is turning around on this. Is it because they came to the conclusion that they've been selling their integrity for checks, or did those checks simply just start bouncing? I think the simple fact is we can no longer deny reality. The economy is not doing well. They can get away with shit like this when the economy is good, but not when it's bad. And that's why I think we're beginning to see the shift, at least with the Access Media and with the audience not showing up anymore. Because when times are tough, you have to cut back, and that is usually your disposable income, like films. I think when all is said and done, this movie might make $500 to $600 million, and I'm being very generous here, very generous. But I'm curious, what are your thoughts? How much money do you think this movie is gonna make? Leave a comment. Also, if you haven't had an opportunity, go and check out my Indiana Jones 5 review. It should be popping up. Yep, I got it right around here. I'll catch you next time.